If you're running a Shopify store and you're spending money on Meta ads, you need to hear this. Everyone is talking about this Andromeda update. You need more creatives. Meta wants more diversity. Produce 50 ads a month or you won't scale. It's bullshit. But here's the thing. It's not that Andromeda doesn't exist. It does. What's bullshit is how everyone is interpreting it. Because what they're telling you to do goes directly against human psychology, against how people actually buy, against decades of advertising research. And I'm going to prove it to you. Today, I'm going to break down why the Andromeda hype is misleading you, why you as the founder needs to be running your own ads, and why you don't need 100 creatives to scale. You need the right ones. If you are an e-commerce owner spending money on Meta ads and you're stressed about creative volume, this video is going to change how you think about advertising. My name is John. I'm an ex-e-commerce owner and I'm currently manage over 30 ad accounts. Now, let me tell you what actually made me buy something this week. A hair product ad. Now look, my hair isn't what it used to be. And I've been ignoring it. Then I saw this ad.
Why more and more men are switching to this breakthrough hair serum. Let's be honest, some hair loss serums out there don't deliver. They're mass-produced, watered down, and made to not offend anyone, and not made to work with your scalp's ecosystem.
I didn't have crazy protection. It didn't have crazy protection. It wasn't some viral hook. It was basic, but it described my problem, my exact situation, and it made me stop. Here's the important part. I didn't buy the first time I saw it. I saw the same ad again and again and again, 5 times, maybe 10, I don't know. And each time I got a little bit more convinced, a little bit more ready, until I finally clicked and bought. The product hasn't arrived, so maybe it's a dropshipping product that simply doesn't work, but that's beyond our point. This is how humans actually buy. It's called the mere exposure effect, basic psychology. The more you see something, the more you trust it, the more familiar it becomes, and the more likely you are to take action. So when Meta's Andromeda update tells you, show more creative diversity, when all these gurus say you need 50 new ads a month, they are telling you to do the opposite of what actually works. Think about it. If I had seen a different ad every time instead of the same one, would I have converted? No, because I wouldn't have built that familiarity. You get that point, like you saw the hook of the ad, right? It showed me the exact problem I had. It reminded me the exact problem I had. That's why I engaged, and that's what made me buy. That trust, that repeated exposure, that finally pushed me over the edge. Showing people different ads over and over is not how you build conviction. It's how you confuse them. Now, let me be clear. Andromeda is real. The system exists. It's a delivery mechanism that helps Meta find the right audience for your ad. That's all it is. It doesn't change the fundamental truth. You still need killer creative that resonates with your customer. You still need ads that speak to the real problems. You still need to understand why people buy. We've got accounts we scaled with very few creatives and they print money. Specifically, another account, we've scaled it to 150K per month with 4 creatives and 2 campaigns. And why? Because those creatives are right. They attack the problem. They speak to the customer. They create desire. You don't really need 100 creatives to scale. You need the right ones. So stop chasing volume. Stop producing garbage just to hit some arbitrary number. Focus on understanding your customer. Focus on finding the one creative that really resonates. Then run it until it stops working. Now, here's something that ties directly into this. If you're running a Shopify store, if you're spending money on Meta ads, you should not be using an ad blocker. I know that sounds crazy. Ads are annoying. Who wants to see ads? You do, if you're in this business. Why? Because you need to understand what influences you. You need to feel what it's like to be sold to. You need to experience the psychology of advertising from the other side. That hair product ad I mentioned, I only saw it because I don't block ads. And when I saw it, I didn't just buy. I studied it. I analyzed why it worked. I took mental notes. Every ad you see is a market research. Every ad that makes you stop is a lesson. Every ad that makes you buy is a masterclass. And here's what I've noticed about that here ad. It wasn't showing me new creative every time. It was the same ad, repeated, building familiarity. That's how I knew from personal experience that the Andromeda creative diversity advice is wrong. And of course, by the ad accounts that we manage. But to the point, because I felt it, I lived it. I was the customer who converted by repetition, not variety. If you're blocking ads, you're cutting yourself off from this education. You're removing yourself from the experience of being sold to. So turn off your ad blocker, watch ads, be aware of what makes you stop, what makes you click, what makes you buy. Then use that knowledge in your own marketing. That brings me to the most important point. If you have a Shopify store, you are an e-commerce owner founder, you need to learn how to run your own ads. I know everyone tells you to outsource, hire an agency, hire a media buyer, focus on what you're good at. But here's what happens when you do that. They don't know your customer. They've never felt the problem your product solves. They don't know the exact words customers use to describe their pain. They haven't had the conversations you've had. I talk to e-commerce owners every day. So many of them come to me with the same story. Hired an agency, they made some ads, they ran some traffic, it didn't work. And when I look at these ads, I immediately see the problem. The ads are generic. They're templates. They talk about features instead of problems because the agency doesn't understand the product the way the founder does. You invented this product. You saw a gap in the market. You talk to real customers. You know exactly why someone needs what you're selling. An agency, they're managing 15 other clients. They spend maybe 30 minutes learning about your product before they start doing creatives for you. And to be honest, I have an agency too, and I know the reality of it. Creatives must be something that the owner creates. It needs to be in-house for maximum growth. For example, that hair ad that converted me, it worked because someone understood my exact problem. They described my situation so accurately, I thought they were reading my mind. An agency cannot do that. Only someone who deeply understands the customer can. And in the very early stages of your business, that person is you. E-commerce is 80% marketing. That's the reality. The best product in the world won't sell if nobody knows about it. If the ads don't resonate, if the message is off. So learn to do your own ads. Master the fundamentals. Understand what makes people stop, click, and buy. Then, if you want to scale and bring in help later, you'll know what good looks like. You'll know when an agency is giving you garbage. You'll be able to say, this ad is generic. This don't speak to our customer. This won't convert because you've done it yourself. You understand the game. All right, now let me give you some actionable stuff. Number one, stop chasing creative volume. The Andromeda hype is misleading you. You don't need 50 ads. You don't need 50 ads a month. You need ads that work. Find the winners and run them. Number two, turn off your ad blocker. Watch ads. Study what makes you stop. Study what makes you buy. Every ad is free education. Number three, write your own ads. Even if you actually hire help, you need to understand what good looks like. No one knows your customer better than you. Number four, focus on problems, not features. Your ad should make someone feel seen. Describe their emotion so accurately they think you're inside their head. And if you want more help scaling your e-commerce brand, I run a community where I help founders, not agencies, not consultants, not dropshippers, actual founders with skin in the game, generate more revenue online. Link in the description if you want to check it out. And if you got value from this video, smash the like button and subscribe. I drop content like this every week. See you in the next one.